Boom.
Biddly, 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 bo. Yes, yo. Thank you, Ayo. Here we go. Ain't nobody down round here. We're going to get him out of there so that we can introduce him because we're first in and on and over here. Shout out to Ayo for being first in on the like, first to comment. Yeah, you, yeah, me, yeah, yo, Ayo. You know what time it is? We've got to move back to get his greatness in. He still gets his introduction. Nobody down round here. Get that badger in and on and over here. He's in, he's on, he's over, he's here. We'll be here for about 15 minutes, boys. Quick live reaction to the game that we've just watched. Shout out to everybody that joined me for the watch along. Ultimately, you'd have to take a point, wouldn't you? You go 2-0 down at QPR. You're literally fearing the worst. You're not feeling the rhythms. You're not feeling the rhymes. You're assuming that, you were going to be on the end of a beat down again, another 4-0. Summit in water in London for us. Summit with these 12 o'clock kickoffs. It just can't be argued at this point. We don't like them, do we? Going 2-0 down. I thought we actually started the game really quite well. First 10 minutes, I thought we were decent. I thought we looked like bang up for it, and I thought we're coming out of traps quick here, hardcore. Do you want more? And then I thought the zestiness of our performance just totally collapsed. I thought we provided little to nothing. I thought they were pretty good value for the 2-0, really. The one thing I will say about Leeds United, and, it's a mint position to be in a sense, not 2-0 down, it's never a mint position to be in, but you never think we're fully out the game. I always think, even at 2-0 down, I said before, if we get a goal before half time, we're bang within a chance, to get at least a draw, at least a point, or even all three. Ming says still top after the break. Yeah, that's what it's about, isn't it, man? It's a point. I didn't want it to be like this because I didn't want our last sort of 5 fixtures to be so bitty and bloppy and like draw, loss, win, draw. Do you know what I mean? I wanted it to be at least like a little bit disappointing. Yes, disaster, no, says Ming. I agree with the rhetoric. That is true. Ultimately, we showed loads to get back in game, but we had such a long period of time to create a chance. I felt like after the Bogle goal, we didn't really create anything. Now, I wanted to get that scoreboard going again, but, we got to 2-2. Nonso at half-time in the 10 role. Does that dispel a few myths that none of these wingers can play in the 10 role? I actually thought Nonso were pretty good in the 10 role. I thought he got at it a bit. He's got that little bit of quality. They are good players, these boys. I don't want to be daft. But, in terms of being on ball, the quality does show. So, Ayo says it's going to be a rough ending to the season, but we should do it. Like Ming says, we're still top. We're going into international break. Doesn't matter what Sheffield United do tomorrow, regardless, we stay top. Obviously, that's a big fixture for them as well with Sheffield Wednesday. It's obviously a local derby. You're hoping that they'll sort of have a bit of a wobble. We're the best team in the league. I think we've shown grit again to get back into the side. This idea that we're a little bit soft, or I think Joe said we've got a bit of a soft underbelly. I'm not so sure that's can be levelled at us, really. I think coming back from 2-0 down with everybody sort of being romantic about not romantics, it wasn't romantic getting thumped 4-0 last time, but everybody was sort of on this train that, history's sort of repeating itself a couple of games ago. I'm gutted we didn't get the win. I thought we started well enough to be honest, I thought we were going to dominate. And then, is it a lack of rotation thing? I'm not so sure. I don't buy into the lack of rotation, to be honest. Aronson for the first goal, that was really poor. It's sort of like you'd have to argue like a no-look pass in your own box. Just wild. I don't even really think he. I just don't know what he was doing other than laying it on a plate for that lad to put it in top bin. I mean, it were a lovely assist. A few jokes floating around saying, he's getting his assist stats up, which, anybody that don't think he's got that perfect final ball, that dispels that, doesn't it? Dispels that myth, because that was laid on a plate for the lad. He couldn't miss. Sending off comes too late. It doesn't really affect the game. I didn't even react at sending off. It definitely was a sending off, but it doesn't affect the game. I thought the defending for their second goal was grotesque, with absolutely no pressure on ball. He has 5-10 yards of space all the time in the world to pick out a nice ball. It is a decent ball, but then for me, Rodon needs to follow the ball, follow the line of the ball, and go with the man that he's marking a little bit more and put a bit on him. I think James, in hindsight, could get a little bit more on. I think it was Cook that scored. I think he could do a little bit more, get into his back and, put him off a little bit. Everybody sort of stood about, standing about, waiting for someone else to take charge. But it is what it is, Showed plenty to get back in. Crazy that, it ended up being an own goal, so Firpo's had one of his goals notched off, which is a shame for him. Because, the bloke's in fire form. But when both, it just shows how crazily good our wing-backs are, both involved in goals. Firpo nearly gets the first goal, Bogle gets the second goal. It's a decent finish for Bogle, decent bit of play as well. As I say, couldn't really create a chance after that, which was the frustration because there was long spells of the game. Ramazani got 7 minutes. I was hopeful. I liked the sub at half-time. I thought it was, the right thing to do. People have been calling for half-time subs in general anyway. Legendary MVG says so. Nonto in the 10. Real sloppy defending cost us today, says Stephen. I'd have liked to have seen Ramazani on for 30 minutes, really. Again, like I've said before, structurally, it doesn't really change anything. Solomon were a bit pissed off when he came off, which I'm sure everybody will be making a lot of that. But I think, as long as it doesn't spill over into team training or into dressing room or whatever, I don't think it's a bad thing when they kick off. He just wants to play it, wants to affect the game, wants to get us up. He probably felt like he was coming into the game as well. I thought he was decent, but I would have gone with Solomon over James to come off, to be fair. I would always leave James on at the moment, although I don't think he's had his best few games. I just think that with his pace and stuff, he can always sort of potentially... It's much of a muchness, but ultimately Dan James is a Leeds player and Solomon's only on loan, so just on that basis, I'd keep James on pitch. Cragger says, apart from Borough away, we have a great run in. Today changes now. We are going up as champions. Love it, Cragger. Ming's right behind you. We never lose when the board is in the house. Duck Fuzz says, disappointed with that. We should have gone on to win. They were pony. I didn't think they offered a great deal, to be fair. I thought, again, we start the games really well and you just think we're going to run away with it. I don't know whether it's I don't want to say a complacency thing, but sort of 10 minutes in, you must have been in them games yourself when you're like, these are shite, these are dogger, and then you drop your level and then it's so hard to pick it back up once you've fallen off. You just 10%. It's so hard to sort of get back on the horse and really ride it home. But in the second half, again, I don't think we started particularly well in the second half. We came out full of energy and it can just sort of die off. And particularly when you make a sub, you're looking for that big, impactful, energy-driven change. And then 10 minutes in, you think, well, nothing's happening. Do you know what I mean? And it's so then the sub lulls it. He's lost all his sort of adrenaline and he lulls into the game as well, which we got through 2-2 against 14th in league. It's crazy league, this Championship League. That leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. We've got international break, got a couple of weeks off of it to get his head sorted a little bit and really hunker down. Obviously, quite a lot of lads will be going away, but we might get Bamford back after break, might get Ampadu back, might even get Wobber back, which, in a bad shout, getting Wobber back in and out squad as well, to be fair. We did have him at the start of the season or a third into the season, and it does help the bench. There is more options for us in general. Emmett says, we weren't anywhere near our best today. Gifted them 2 goals, but we dug it in and got a dirty point. We are still on track. It is on track. We've said, haven't we, if we can pick stuff up away from home and just win all our home games, got 4 more home games to win, 12 points to go at. We're 10 points off the 90-point trophy. I think even if we lose another game, we're still on for 101 points. But I just don't want to be in a situation where we need to win 8 games on bounce. So I don't like the idea of waiting to see what Sheffield United do tomorrow. I'd much rather be in a position where we've pulled away a little bit and you just don't have to worry about their results. But having said that, ultimately, all we have to do is match them. If we match match each result they have, they drew yesterday, other day, we draw today. If they win tomorrow, we make sure we go and beat Swansea. Do you know what I mean? We just got to match them. But I'd just rather, obviously, get the win and get out of the way. there is a point gap though, and ultimately Sheffield are chasing us. Ultimately, the goal difference is literally an extra point, and I wouldn't say that had it not been so tight at the top, but it can look a little bit precarious when they are ultimately level on points with us. If they win tomorrow, it does look a little bit. I don't want to go down the Leedsy thing, but 8 games is a lot of points to go at, but they're also, we don't need that many. Do you know what I mean? I think four home wins would get us to 92 points, and then four away games. If you picked up a few more, just as I say, I think we can afford to lose a couple of games. I don't want to, but I think come towards end of the season, we've got Plymouth away on last day. If it gets to that, you'd have to back us to beat them. I mean, they're done. I think they're pretty much out of it. Obviously, 8 games can change a lot of things if they go on a little bit of a run. Swansea and then Luton, 2 away games on thick and fast, and then we're at home to Preston. So it goes Swansea on 29th at home, Luton on 5th of April, and then April the 8th is in away at Luton 5th, and then away at Middlesbrough in the 8th, away again. So that's quite the slog. And then 12th of April, Preston at home. And by Preston we'll know by then. It's by Preston, who knows what we're going to be looking at. It is getting tense. This league is unlike any other. It is getting tense up at the top now. That's why I was desperate. I did not want to be going into international break with a draw today. Everybody's saying that they'd have taken a point, and ultimately, like I said, 2-0 down, you would take a point. So you'd be mad not to take it, but I wanted them 3 points in, baby. Smash a like for us, guys. It really does help. It's 25 of us in room. If you can smash a like, get them likes up for us, it does help the algorithms and things. But ultimately, it doesn't hamper my confidence. I think I think we're just going to fall over at line at this point, unless we go on a mint run. But we're still unbeaten now. Is that in 20? Or would it be 19 we're unbeaten? Oh, sorry, we've been beat once in 19 or 20 games. So look like you're riding an emu. I'm terrified of riding Olt, so definitely not riding an emu, Ming. That'd be the worst experience of my life. Yorkshire Derby tomorrow. What time's that on? Let's have a look here. I might, to be fair, I've got a bit of time tomorrow. That's at 12:30 as well. I might go live for that, to be fair, but I think Joe will probably be live, so I don't want to seem like I'm just following what Joe's doing. Cheers, Mark. Cheers for tuning in to Watch Along, man, as well. It's much appreciated. But yeah, so to summarise, see what Sheffield do tomorrow. I might go live for it. Burnley are on at 3. They've got Swansea. That'll be a shit game. So good luck to anybody that wants to sit and watch that. If Swansea could do us a favour, but I'm foolishly, and it might come back to bite me in the ass, but I'm not concerned about what Burnley do at all. I haven't been all season. I'm not going to start now. I've not been too concerned what Sheffield were doing. I have a look, and I have a look at what Burnley are up to, but I can't say I'm not quaking. Safe to say Sunderland are well out of race, so it is now I still think a 2-horse race. And I also think we're getting a little bit panicky about the league, but not panicky, but just in general, if Sheffield do win tomorrow and get level on points with us, does it matter? We're still 5 points clear of Burnley. I know they've got a game this afternoon, see how they get on, but say they draw. I mean, granted, if they win 7-6, it's only 2 points gap. It does look precarious. Not concerned, just shitting myself, says Ming. Cheers, big lad. Come on, Wednesday and Swansea. Yeah, well, what will be, will be. We'll see what they come up with. The only thing that concerns me right now is Sheffield United have won more games than us. They've won 24 and we've won 23. And they play today. Now, I know it's only the points that matter. They've lost 2 more games than us. But I've always said for a long time, whoever wins the most games goes up as champions. So that does need to change. So we do need to at least win the same amount of games of him. So we do need to catch up in a win somewhere, And I don't want to talk about the 2 points, but I think it's closer at the top. But I think it's a challenge to win the championship. I don't think it's a challenge to get top 2. I think we will be top 2. It's just it's whether we go up as champions or not. Cheers, Ina. Cheers for tuning in, man. I appreciate you. we've got to be happy. Only lost 4 games so far this season. Still top at league. Have a good one tonight, Ming. You too, mate. I'm going to bounce, boys, because I've got to go to work. I've got 2 jobs to do this afternoon, and then I'm off to work. I'm DJing tonight, so I'll be knackered. But I might jump in tomorrow. I might do a shit vid, or I might go live, see what everybody's doing. We'll still win the championship. I do believe that. 101 Art Club. But yeah, shout out to everybody tuning in. I appreciate every which one here, as you well know. Cheers for tuning in with me and the Badger. We much appreciate it. Thank you, AO. Cheers for tuning in. Take it easy, everybody. Laters, Cragger. Top. See you in a bit. See you. 78 RPM. Ena. Take it easy. Thank you. Peace.
Boom.